Welcome to Readability. I'm your host, Ashley Kelson. In Readability, we read all kinds of stories, from short storybooks to large chapter books. You could sit down with family or just lay back and relax. Every Saturday, we read, review, and recommend different books for your listening pleasure. I really hope you enjoy Readability. Let's get started. What is up, everyone? It's Ashley. Now, don't worry. I understand that I didn't include the kickoff session intro, but it's only going to be temporary until further notice. For today's episode, I am doing a review on a series I love very much. A series of unfortunate events, The Bad Beginning by Lemony Snicket. Yes, it has been a while since I've read this book, but I have watched the series a lot on Netflix, so I think I'll have a good idea on what the plot of the book is. Without further ado, here is the review. At the beginning of the story, we have our protagonists, Violet, Klaus, and Sunny Baudelaire. Violet being 14, Klaus being 12, and Sunny being an infant. Their parents had perished in a fire that destroyed their mansion, and the only things they had left is themselves. Because of the loss of their parents, a certain man named Count Olaf wants to steal their fortune, and according to the books, he'll do anything to get it. The Baudelaires go on crazy and dangerous adventures, and along the way meet friends and families and secrets they never knew about. If you didn't know already, this series by Lemony Snicket has been a Netflix original series for a while now. So, if you're interested in the story, I recommend watching the Netflix series. Lemony Snicket writes the Baudelaire's fate in his perspective and gives great details about the plot and characters. Fun fact, Lemony Snicket is a pen name. Sorry to anyone who thought it was his own name. His real name is Daniel Hadler. He was actually helping direct the Netflix original series to make it like his book, which is pretty cool to me. There are 162 pages in this book. There are 13 chapters in this book, much like all of the other books in this series. This book did not receive an award. The author is Daniel Hadler, more known as Lemony Snicket, and the publishing brand is Scholastic Incorporated or Scholastic Inc. It is now time to say what I think about the book and my rating. I rate this book a 4 out of 5 stars. This novel took risks and put the Baudelaires in tough situations where they really have to think, what can we do to survive? Let's just make this clear. Count Olaf, not from Frozen, is an evil person who is greedy and only wants money and does not care about anyone else. The complete opposite, actually, from Olaf in Frozen. I'll get into our characters near the end, where I explain my character thoughts. But for now, this is all I'm going to say. Our main characters really work together as a family and invent things to help them survive. Actually, the youngest, Sunny Baudelaire, gets put in a death-defying situation where her only way to survive is with the help of her siblings. Overall, I think this book deserves a 4 out of 5 stars. I would definitely recommend this book to someone, but, as always, it really depends on the person. Some people may not enjoy the series, specifically this book, as much as other people I know would. As I've been describing, this book has such an interesting adventure with it, and Lemony Snicket tells the tales of the Baudelaires. That's a tongue twister. It is a great book, and even the Netflix series is great as well. Now here are my top highlights for this book. Number 1, I really enjoyed the introduction of Count Olaf's theater group. It was interesting and cool to see all of his theater buddies that help him with his evil schemes. It's also pretty obvious in the Netflix shows that they are more involved with what's happening, though in the books they're not as mentioned than in the Netflix series. Number 2, when Violet showed what she can truly do, which is inventing, and created the homemade grappling hook. It really helps me, and maybe some other readers, enjoy Violet as a character. She's extremely smart and is the inventor, and a great role model. Number 3, finally, Lemony Snicket's commentary was really interesting in a good way. Having Lemony talk about the Baudelaire's past also gave the producers a chance to have fun with the actor who plays Lemony Snicket to interact with the surroundings while being in the Baudelaire universe. It'll make sense once you watch the show. It is now time to say what I think about the characters and who they are. First of all, we have our Baudelaire siblings. Violet, the inventor, Klaus, the researcher, and Sunny, the biter. Later in the book, she becomes somewhat of a cook. They all have their talents and are all extremely good at what they do. We have the kind characters like Justice Strauss, a judge, though she is very gullible and tries to save the Baudelaires but fails. Much like Mr. Poe, the banker who is in charge of escorting the Baudelaires to their proper guardians. But he's really bad and thinks that Count Olaf is nice too often, and he coughs a lot. And then we have the mean and evil characters like Count Olaf, obviously. Count Olaf is just trying to get the Baudelaire fortune, and he tries to get it in very evil ways. My favorite character in this book is Justice Strauss, funny enough. She is so kind to the Baudelaires and wants them to have children of her own, but according to their parents' will, she can't. Now, my least favorite character, I don't have. But the character I just want to facepalm at is Mr. Poe, which I've explained why already. Well, hopefully this review made you prepared for this series and what it's all about. I love it, and especially the Netflix show. Have a great day, readers, and here is our official readability ending. Thank you for joining me, your host, Ashley Kelson, on Readability. It has been a really great time, and I hope you join me again next week. Remember, every Saturday we either read, review, or recommend a book for your listening pleasure. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Keep reading, folks. Bye!